Hey y'all, it's your girl Nelly D, and I got the one and only Drew with me at LOL, probably Drew on IG. Show him some love.
Hey guys, it's your boy LOL, probably Drew, and I've got the Nelly Drayton, and that is at the Nelly Drayton across all social media platforms. Please show her some love, y'all.
Please do, please do, please do. So this is a little different for us.
Very so, very different.
We are doing audio only. Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Mm,
Mm-hmm.
mm-hmm.
I
Uh,
mean, it's a shame that they don't get to see our beautiful faces. However, we've been on a hiatus. I think it's time for us to come back.
what you've been
I think
working
it's
though? You've been working.
I've been doing a little thing or two. I've been doing a
Yeah.
little thing or two. I've been trying to, establish my own little situation over in Elbow, probably Drew land.
Oh, come on, LOL, probably Drew land. I love that.
Okay. Yes, honey. Trying to establish my own thing. But I mean, I gotta go back to my roots. Gotta come back to the podcast.
Oh, well, it's all right. We love it when creators get, I say creators, ugh,
Mm,
let me rephrase
Cree.
that. When
Mm-hmm.
creatives, we love it when creatives expand and grow, whether it's united or
Mm-hmm.
solo. Ooh, that was
Mm-hmm.
a bar.
Oh my
Mm,
god.
dropping
Rapper
bars
Nelly.
on the audio track.
I can't. You're gonna make a diss track on the podcast?
Listen, don't get me started. I
Okay.
made a TikTok about
Ooh.
like I'm a creative, of course and then I just use different scenarios. Somebody in the comments section was like, "Don't you mean creator?" And I was
No.
like,
I'm not a content creator. I'm a creative. I do things outside of TikTok dances. Okay.
Thank you. Ooh, 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 ooh." I was like, you know what? If he actually tapped in to my page, he would have picked up on that. But that's what happens when you just comment and you
Mm-mm.
barely know somebody.
Mm-mm. He would have picked up on it because they don't get it. People who have the nerve to correct you when you title yourself, they
Ooh,
they they missed it, baby. They missed it.
you know what? What
Because
you
you
just
you said what you said was intentional. What he said was ignorant. There's a
mm,
difference.
mm, all of what you just said ties us into us
Mm.
continuing
Mm.
on the topic.
Mm-hmm.
So, in the last episode, we talked about friendships and we didn't really tie it too much into the creative process
Yeah.
on how friendships work, but we're going to try our best to do it here. And what you just said, do you feel like you can repeat what you just said?
Oh, absolutely.
You said that when you're intentional about labeling.
When someone tries to correct you on how you label yourself, they've missed it. They missed
Mhm.
it.
Mhm.
Because and here's why. Because like I feel like a lot of times people think that there's boxes that people have to fit in.
Oof.
And I know that's very cliche, like, I just don't fit in a box. Like I created my own box. But I feel like there's a difference between content creators and creatives. If you navigate this world believing that you're a creative and someone tells you, no, 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 baby, our conversation stopped when you said no. Like we were done. But there's nothing else for us to speak about because who are you to tell me who I am? You don't
Mm.
know me. You've known me for 5 seconds, and even if you follow my social media presence, you know what I have allowed you to learn about me. You
Mm.
don't know. You know nothing about the internal workings of me. You
Yeah.
know the funny side. You know what I'm saying? Like
Mhm.
people, I think people forget sometimes when it comes to like social media and the creative process and putting out content that that is a projection of either who we want you guys to believe we are, and for
Mhm.
some people it is like a character. They're putting out a character, and it's like I, I have full control over that, but that doesn't mean that you know me. You know what I'm saying? Does that make sense?
It makes 100%. It all clicks on all cylinders over here
Yeah. I just had to get that out
because
there because I'm tired of that conversation where people are like, "You're this, you're that." No, I tell you who I am, not you. You don't tell me who I am. I tell you who I am.
Mhm.
I've sat in this body for 28 years. You've sat in your body for however many years. You've known me for 5 seconds because of a TikTok. Don't do
Mm,
me.
yeah. I
Don't
didn't,
do me.
and let the record reflect, I did not comment. Whenever anybody says anything, ridiculous or obnoxious or just out of order, I don't even pay it. I don't like it. I don't respond back to it just
Oh, I
because
clap back.
I oh God. Oh.
I clap back.
Oh.
I
Um,
do.
okay.
Because because you want to know what? If you don't set your narrative straight, those people write the narrative for you. They do.
Mm,
And I want the narrative to be known that if you come at me crazy, I match energy, baby.
mm,
I'm an empath. What you dish out is what you will receive from me.
mm.
Okay? So if you want love, light, peace, and positivity,
Ooh.
well, honey, I need you to serve that up on a nice platter for me because
Ooh.
that's what I want to eat up.
Okay.
And you know I be eating. So
Ooh.
don't come at me crazy. Because I got time. I work from
Mm.
home.
Ooh. Same.
I've got time. I've got time to take out of my day to get crazy in your comments. Think I won't.
Mm. Let the record reflect.
Let the record reflect.
I mean, I just didn't, for me, I just
I
don't
know.
care because
I
they
know.
look
Your
well, I
your
took I
journey is yeah.
my journey is what? Say it, please.
Your journey is different than my journey. That's what I was gonna say.
I was gonna say, listen, because I listened to the last episode. I reviewed it twice just for GP, and you acknowledge some things that have changed within me about how I'm in my soft girl era. Because when you first met
Mhm.
me, I was defensive, just a lot and protective of myself.
Yeah,
Um,
for sure.
and
You
now I feel like you're right. I am in my soft girl era, but I think it's because,
Mhm.
like I said in the first episode of Friends, um,
Yeah.
I'm not around those same people who will be like that person that commented on my TikTok trying to correct me to tell me who I am.
Yeah.
I just let them talk to themselves because now who looks funny, you or me? You look
Okay.
weird.
Okay.
That's one of the reasons why I didn't respond because for me, I'm like, you know what? I'm normally quick to. So
Yeah.
I need to stay in my soft girl era. I need to look at you like the fly on the wall that you are.
Okay.
Because
And
if I
see,
it's
yeah.
yeah.
Well, go ahead. Finish your thought.
I mean, no, that was really it. Like I just have to maintain that for myself. I have to maintain certain levels so that I
Mhm.
don't overstep into that gangster that you've met. Um
Mm. 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 That's a
Mm.
word. That's a
Mm.
word, honey.
I feel like I'm about to meet my husband really soon. That's another reason why, like something
Okay,
I, f-
same.
I feel like my life's about to dramatically change
I
in
do
ways
too.
where I have to grow and be
Mhm.
more mindful and be ready to, um, how do I put it? I guess be able to carry the weight
Mm.
of the new life that I'm going to be living. So I have to put some
Mm.
things down and not
Ooh.
care about certain things anymore.
Ooh.
Be- And in doing so, the software error is also
Mhm.
emerging because of that.
All right now.
Oof.
I know. Did that feel good?
It felt so good.
That felt good to hear. That felt good to hear, honey. Cause you know, cause okay, I've known you. We've known each other for about a year now, right?
Mhm.
It's been about a year. We both started working at our job about a year ago. And I mean, granted, I probably didn't really know you until probably a good couple months into like us getting to know each other. Cause I feel
Mhm.
like what I said when we had our first friendship episode, you were very guarded. You were very like walls up, da 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 da, defensive, all this good stuff. So I really feel like I really got to know you probably maybe like a month or two before we started doing the podcast. That's when I really started to get to know you because the Nelly that I know now is completely different than the Nelly that I knew just a year ago. And I don't think it's because you've changed. I think it's because you let your guard down, at
Ooh.
least towards me. And
I
like
love it.
you've allowed me to see a realer version of you as opposed to this like, you know, I'm a barbed wire girl. Don't come near me because you'll get poked, like keeping people at a bay because you're afraid of getting hurt. You've obviously seen that, like, I'm not gonna hurt you. I've kept it very real with you about
Mm.
everything. So
Mhm.
that, like, I'm keeping it 100, even if it is like an uncomfortable conversation. I'm gonna have it because I am confrontational. I don't give a hot damn. I'll come to you with whatever. But um no, I feel like when it comes to friendships, you spoke about something that I think is very important. I know I probably have talked to you about it. I don't know if I talked to you about it on camera or off camera, but um, you spoke about something that like really resonates with me, and it always has ever since I learned about it. And it's about perspective. Like
Mm,
you just spoke on it, and I don't even think you realized it when you were like, you know what, I'm not going to pay attention to these people because they're going to look crazy talking to themselves.
mhm,
That's like the biggest thing when it comes to like when it comes to navigating friendships. I think that's like the hardest part is realizing that like, you know what? This person isn't feeding my soul. And not that it's their responsibility, but it is a part of friendship that is important, to be able to feed one another. Because a friendship is like a relationship without like the the benefits of being in a relationship. You know what I'm saying? Like you don't,
mhm.
because like my best friend, like that's like my soul sister. You know what I'm saying? Like that's like
Yeah.
my girl. Like we don't always see eye to eye. We don't always agree, but we have learned, and it's a really beautiful thing because it really didn't take a lot of effort, or a lot of um, like we didn't even really. I don't even think we have actually like paid attention to it. I think we just have. I think we pick up on each other's energy, but like she knows when I'm like agitated, even with her. Like she knows when I'm agitated, irritated. She knows like, okay, let me just give him some space. I know when she's agitated, irritated. I know, okay, she wants me to ask her about what's going on, so she has like an excuse to talk about it, or else it's gonna eat her up. Like
Mm,
we've learned that about each other, but it did not like we never like sat down and discussed that.
yeah.
That's like real good friendship. That's I think that's because like we just have cared about each other enough to like pay attention to that stuff.
Mhm.
Like when you've been in like well, maybe I shouldn't have this conversation with you because you're not a relationship girly.
Oh, well.
Yeah, you're on your way. You're on your way. Your
Mhm.
journey is leading you towards a relationship. Love that for you. However, what I what I was gonna say is, like, when you like really like someone and you make an effort to like pay attention to things, like see how excited they get when they go to the grocery store and get like this drink, and you're like, that's their favorite drink, or you see how like they get excited when they see something on TV, and you're like, oh, that's their favorite character. Like how you pay attention to stuff like that.
Yeah.
That's, like, how me and my best friend have been, like, without even thinking about it. Like,
Oh.
she knows what I like. Like, for Christmas, they didn't have to get me, Christmas presents, but they did, and they got me things that I love. They got me, like, hoodies. You know how I am about my hoodies. I love my
Mhm.
hoodies. They got me more hoodies, and I was like, "This is amazing. Thank you so much." They got me more hats. I'm like,
Ooh.
"Oh my god, this is fabulous." They got me a karaoke machine. I mean, they got me, like, some things that I actually truly enjoy and love, and, like, I mean, I got her just stuff that had tits on it, so she loved it. She's a simple girl. She's a simple girl.
So, they got you things that they noticed that you actually would enjoy as a gift, like, it
Yeah.
ain't that's something that I've noticed about, like, personal experiences. I've
Mhm.
dealt with people who've given me gifts that they would want.
Mm.
And I'm
Mm.
like, there's a reason why my friends list has gone from like 15, 20 people to 2.
Yeah.
Cause it's like, you all don't know me. Y'all don't care about me. You all don't speak life over me. The
Yeah.
journey that I'm on requires people to actually pay attention to me because that's what I give in return.
Yeah.
So I'm
I
happy. I'm
mean,
glad that that's what you have, honestly, because
yeah.
it's important for a creative to have those type of people around you.
Mhm. Oh, yeah, no, she's like, I think 2024 has clearly, you know, done a number on me already. Um it's funny how some well, and I'm getting closer to 30. This is gonna be my 29th birthday this year, so I'm getting closer to 30, and it really, like,
Ooh,
puts a
you
lot of
so
I know,
young.
girl,
You a
please.
baby.
Okay,
So
you hit. Okay. Well, okay. I'm gonna hold on to that for like just another year. Then hit that 3-0, and I'm gonna be like, oh, they're gonna start calling me daddy.
I
They're gonna
cannot.
look, and they will. They will. In the gay community, 30 is daddy, and I'm like, I'm not ready for it. I'm not ready for it. That's why I need to lock someone down now because I'm not doing it.
Oh.
The first one that calls me daddy's getting blocked. Period.
Oh my God, why?
Got it. Oh, absolutely not.
What's
Absolutely
wrong with
not.
what I'm confused. What's wrong with that?
Nothing is wrong with it. It's just not me.
Mm.
I'm not daddy. I'm baby.
He said, "Not on my watch. We can't even
No,
do the
yeah,
turn right
I
now."
know. Not on my I will not have it. I will not have it. It's unacceptable. Not gonna do it. No. So,
Oh.
anyways, back to friendships and creatives. Let's bring it back together here. Um,
Mhm.
so so what is your experience as a creative navigating friendships in a positive? Because we can talk about the negatives all day. Because we
Is
both
it
have.
in the positive?
Because I don't want it just to be about like I don't want the narrative to always be like, as a creative
Mm.
person, it's important for you to cut off people who don't feed you, and it's like, well, yeah, that's what any human being's gonna do when they have people who are just like
Yeah.
negative. But what about navigating friendships in like
Mm.
a positive way? Now, as positive, it doesn't necessarily mean that the situation is positive like the entire way. Like I find my friendships that are the strongest are the friendships that actually had like some turmoil or had some like struggle,
Mhm.
you know?
I
Like,
would
oh, you go ahead.
I would say to answer your question, I remember you said in the first part of friendships, you said you asked me what I guess it's like a common thing or a key thing that most of my friends have or just like a common maybe characteristic. And I said
Yeah.
they're all funny. Like all of you guys are hilarious. And I think that also plays a role in the positive side
Hmm.
because I need that. That fills my cup up. I know we've talked about like
Yeah.
what fills your cup up and things like that.
Hmm.
That fills up my cup when I'm with funny people and we're laughing and I kiki in.
It
Oh my
recharges you, don't
goodness.
it?
Heck yeah. It's like I feel like I'm sleep. It almost feels like I'm having a night out with friends
Hmm.
and we're dancing and having
Hmm.
some adult beverages and enjoying ourselves. That's what it feels like when I'm having those really hardcore laughs.
Yeah. I feel like when I'm having like those moments where like I'm firing on all cylinders because I'm gonna keep it real. This might be a little, you know, narcissistic,
Uh-oh.
but I don't care. For a lot of people, I am the funny friend.
Yeah.
I am the funny
You
friend.
are.
I'm the funny friend, and I take y'all. This is a public service announcement for anyone who calls themselves my friend. Y'all have no idea the amount of like responsibility that I feel to like be funny.
Oh.
You know, I have had. I you there's like one thing that makes me feel the most insecure. I can't believe I'm about to like talk about it. It's when someone does not laugh at my jokes.
Really?
Oh my god. I have made it known. I have said out aloud. I don't know if I've made it known, but I've said it aloud that if someone does not laugh at my jokes, that is a huge red flag to me. Because I'm
Hmm.
like, something's wrong with you. I'm a classically funny guy.
And if the
I'm
majority's laughing at me, but you're not,
you're not. Something's ticking up there, and I'm not quite sure what.
you
Because
know what?
I'm a pretty funny dude. I mean, I think I've navigated it. I mean, I make my mom laugh, you
Mm.
know, and she's like a Debbie Downer.
Mm.
So if I can make Kim laugh, I can make Eeyore laugh. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
I
it's a
get
red
what you're
flag.
saying. I get what you're saying. I've
But what I was trying to say was sorry. Or did you have a thought? Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
I had like a mini thought.
Go ahead.
It
I got
was I had a little encounter with someone. I don't know if I
one.
told you this on camera, off camera, on mics, off
I don't
mics,
know.
but I had like an encounter where someone called me on Snapchat and he was like, so the way sometimes that some of these guys interact with me, it's strange
Oh,
because
I've
I think
witnessed.
I've told, oh,
A witness, a bear witness.
No.
No, yes. 100%, yeah.
Okay, besides that
Mhm,
that, there's other ways that, like, guys, like, not to
mhm.
sound cocky, but they interact with me like I'm already famous. I don't know if
Okay.
you've received that or not. No, that is
Oh, no,
not
I
okay.
do.
It's
I
not
do.
okay. It's actually very annoying because sometimes I've noticed that some guys do it to try to be funny.
Yeah,
Like, I'm genuinely just this is just me being me. Like, this is not me trying to get accolades or I mean, I'm just being me, and people
yeah.
acknowledge that within me. Like, I went, I went to, get something from my mom,
Mhm,
and there was an older lady that, I grew up knowing her, like, most of my childhood life and stuff in church, and I was just being myself, like, I walked in there, and I was gonna give her a hug, I was like, "Oh my god, it's so good to see you," and I was like, "Oh, wait, cup of Alka-Seltzer, never mind," and she just started cracking laughing. She just laughing at me in the way I said it. She's like, "Oh my god, girl, your face expressions, you are just so funny." I was like, "No, for real, I got Alka-Seltzer in this cup, I can't get close to you," like, no. But it tickled her spirit. I guess, just getting that response out of me.
Yeah.
But like, there's this guy. He called me on Snapchat, and then he was like, "Oh my God, y'all, like." I guess nobody. I don't think nobody was in the living room or wherever he was at. Nobody else was in there with him, but he was being so weird to me, and I want to relate that to your comment of, if somebody doesn't laugh at you or laugh with you, I guess it's a red flag. Well,
Mhm.
he kind of did it, but in a jokingly, like, you're not really funny, but I'm gonna pretend that you're cool way. He was like, "Oh my god, I'm on the phone with Nelly." Like, "Oh my god, it's
Oh,
Nelly."
yeah,
I
okay,
was
no,
like,
I'm totally understanding what you're talking about now,
I
yeah.
was like, "Ew, why are you?" Because I was smiling, like, "Are you kidding me right now? Aren't you like 35?"
Ew,
And I guess he
I feel
thought
like I know
that
who you're talking about, cause ew,
I don't know if I told
you
you,
may have,
and I
you
think I
may
showed you
have.
pictures of yeah,
Yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah. Yeah,
it's
I think I know who
like,
you're talking about.
that's a huge
Ooh.
you
No,
know?
yeah, no, okay, so here we go. Here we go. So, no, I used to talk to this guy who used to do, like, a very similar thing, but he always, like but I will give him a little bit of credit. I like to give someone credit, even if they're like, we just had a failed situation or whatever.
Mm,
I have a really bad habit of, like, minimizing myself. I just feel like, what I'm doing is never, like, this grand thing. I always, like, minimize everything because I don't wanna, like I mean, I love attention, but I don't just, like, brag about myself, you know what I'm saying? That makes
yeah,
sense?
it makes a
Yeah.
lot of sense,
So
yeah.
I minimize myself a lot, and
You're just being yourself.
yeah, I don't know, it's just not my it's tacky to me to kind of, like, walk in a room and be like, "Oh my god," I don't know, it's just not my thing.
Yeah.
But anyways, I always minimize myself, and he always, like, would try to do, like, that similar thing to make me feel better about myself. I don't think he ever realized that it really was, like, a turn off for me. 'Cause he
Mm.
tried to, like, talk about me as if I was, like, this thing, and I was like, you know,
I'm just a
help help
person.
help me, like, help me see that for myself. Don't, like, try to create this environment where, like, that is the truth. Help me believe it by, like, knocking down some of those things that you see that I do. And he was on his way to that. He was working his way to doing that. It's just the intro to that journey was very off-putting.
Mm.
Like, this whole, like, "Oh my god, I got Drew in my car. Da, 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 da. I got the" ooh, you're about to not have Drew in your car. 'Cause I'm about to tell you to pull over and let me out.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I don't like that, okay? I don't like
Yeah.
that. When I first started this whole social media thing, that was it. That was it. That was, like, my only interactions with people. It was like, "Oh my god, I got Drew from IG, da 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 da," and I was
Mm,
like, "No, I s
golly.
you just got a guy." And
Yeah.
then that's when I stopped dating local fellas. It's
That
like,
part, oh my
"Alright, no
god.
more local fellas." And then I moved to Louisville, and I'm like, "Okay, back to local fellas because they don't know me." But now I've gotten around with a couple, they know me a little bit now, so I can't date any more locals.
Yeah. Oh,
But
well,
okay, well,
I do
Life is
know,
life.
trust me.
Life be life, and
And it do, and people be people until they can't people no more.
okay, I wish they would not people anymore, but
Oh.
anyways, okay, we've got off track a little
I mean,
bit.
all of that was to say, like, the company that you keep really can make or break that creative process, whatever your creative process is,
Mhm.
whatever your journey is, whatever it looks like, whoever
Yeah.
it involves, the people
Mhm.
that you keep, even if they're associates, friends, colleagues.
Yeah.
I did like an interview. I'm not gonna go into too many details, and I could go into details with you off the mics, but
Yeah.
I did an interview, and I was expressing to someone else that when I did this interview, I felt like it was a setup for me to look like I was falling behind, like I wasn't on my P's and Q's.
Yeah.
And it's little stuff like that. Like, even if that person didn't intentionally mean for me to receive it that way, that's how it looked based off of certain commentary, like certain little comments that was
Yeah.
made. And especially if it was like made in front of other people.
Mm.
And it's like, in everything that I've experienced in life, if people don't want to see you win, 9 times out of 10, it's just best for you to really tunnel vision your your creative
Yeah.
process and kind of slide to the left away from them. Like I think you've known some stories about like an ex friend that I had.
Mhm.
I'll never forget one time she texted my phone because I had to talk to my therapist about it because I told her here recently I was like, I feel like I'm dealing with people more and more, and they'll message me and say, "Hey, I got this opportunity," and I'm like, "Are you like I'm not thirsty for opportunities. Like, stop messaging me. It's weird." But
Yeah.
recently, something like that happened, and it reminded me of the ex roommate who one time she texted my phone. It's like, "Hey, they're needing I don't remember what it was, if it was an MC or a host or a comedian or something." Because I was like I did like a couple of comedy shows um here locally, just trying to figure out if that's my thing or not.
Mhm.
And I want to say, I don't remember what it was specifically, but then she texted me and was like, "Hey, I'll let you know, but would you want to do it?" And I was like, I'll need details first." And then I don't remember what she said after that. She's like, "Oh, never mind, they found somebody else." And I just never responded back because I was like, I wasn't thirsty for it. I would need
Yeah.
details before I say yes or no. And it's like
Yeah.
you really it those type of conversations, whether or not it seems 100% certain, those
Mhm.
conversations actually can, like, derail you just a smidge.
Yeah.
Too many of
'Cau
those conversations can throw you off, I
Yeah, 'cause
feel
I
like.
think as a creative, I think, like, part of the journey is realizing that the journey is, like, yours to have, you know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? Like
Oh, yeah.
I think sometimes people are so used to this, like, starving artist idea that they think, "Oh my god, this the moment I see something that makes sense for what I think so and so is going, I'm gonna send it that way," and it's like, I don't need you to throw that my way because you don't know how many times maybe I've, like, knocked that away in my own
Mm.
mind as something that I don't wanna do because maybe it doesn't make sense or maybe it's just not part of my journey now. Like, back in the day when I was doing theater,
Mhm.
I would have, teachers or, whomever, they would come to me and be like, "Oh my god, there's this show. Oh my god, there's this show. Oh my god, there's this show." And, like, they didn't realize that I was actually, like, going to auditions and being turned down from shows. Like,
Mm.
I went like, I'll never forget, and this was just because of my age, though, I was young. I did an audition for The Wizard of Oz. I didn't realize that it was an actual production of The Wizard of Oz. I mean, great, it was local, but it was an actual, like, gonna be a really big production for our local community.
Mhm.
Is they were gonna have adults play characters. I didn't realize that because when
Oh,
I showed up to the audition, I just saw kids. So I
gotcha.
was thought it was gonna be, the Playhouse production of The Wizard of Oz, the productions that I was used to. I didn't realize that, like, low key, I was leveling up. I didn't see that.
Mm-mm.
And so I went to the Wizard of Oz audition and I got it, but I refused it because I thought, like, why am I not? I wanted to be the Tin Man. I literally was so upset 'cause I was like, I wanted to be the Tin Man.
So you got a role, but you
I got a
didn't.
role, but I turned it down. And then they were in the newspaper. because I went and did The Little Mermaid. And then I was like, I could have been like, not that it was like a big moment, but like it was in the newspaper. That could have been exposure. I could have had like a picture. You know what I'm saying?
In the
Like,
newspaper, yeah.
yeah. And as an adult, I like look back and I'm like, who is guiding me through all of this? Because like that was a really good opportunity, because then later on that summer, I did another production, which was again a larger production that had like adults in it, and I got a newspaper feature in that because I was in like all the dance numbers. And
Mm,
so, in me saying that, it's like people coming up to me saying, "Oh my God, there's this show! Oh my God, there's this show!" I did. That's not what I needed. That's not what I
mm,
needed. I needed you guys to like let me navigate that on my own, because um I I wouldn't have the production that I ended up doing was I went to the Wizard of Oz, got the part for one of the flying monkeys, turned it
mm,
down, turned it
mm,
down, went to the Little Mermaid, realized what I had, or what I could have had with um the Wizard of Oz, ended up auditioning for the Music Man and got that. If I had done Wizard of Oz, if I hadn't if I'd done Wizard of Oz and accepted that for what it was, that could have been the end of my journey. That makes sense?
kind of.
I could have felt like that was the top. Like, that was the best I could have
Oh,
done. I turned it down a really good opportunity that I got, went to one that was smaller, saw what I missed, went for another opportunity, got it, and then went for it. I may not have gone for the Music Man if I was okay with my, you know, Wizard of Oz newspaper moment.
yeah,
I would have felt perfectly fine with that. But
yeah.
I got more hungry. And that's why I think sometimes people don't realize, like, when you're trying to feed someone opportunities, you don't know how hungry I am right now.
Mm,
Let me go out and be a warrior on my own, and get my own. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
don't hand it to me. Let me go get it, because that may not be what I need. That may not be my nourishment.
mm. That's good. That was really good.
I went a long way just to get to that point. I don't know why.
But it all maps out because it's not a negative experience. It wasn't like negative or positive. It was like a
A
genuine
learning,
experience.
a
Yeah.
learning experience for sure.
Yeah. And then
And I was
you know,
like 13. Like, I learned that at like
oh, you
12,
were a
13
baby,
years old.
baby.
Oh, girl, he started young. He
Yeah,
started young.
start yeah.
I was doing shows, girl. I was doing shows. I loved it. I loved it. I
I
have
love
thought
that for
about
you.
I thought about getting back into it, but I don't know if that's my journey.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's my journey, but I thought about it. I thought about it. But
Talking about
anywho,
like Broadway performances or
mhm.
acting
Yeah.
theater. Okay.
Yeah, I thought about getting
Either
back
way it
into
goes,
theater.
even if it's like your thing on the side,
Yeah.
it never hurts to experience and have fun. Because 'cause I've done a play, but I wanna say I liked it because of who wrote it. Like, that's
Yeah.
the only reason why I genuinely liked doing it,
I
so
just can't dance. I cannot dance. I can sing, I can act. I cannot dance.
I
I'm
can't
not a
dance,
triple
I
threat.
know you can, not a chance. Sorry,
I
that's my
I'm
girly
I'm
thing.
not a triple threat. I wish I was a triple threat. I'm not.
Well
But what I am good at, though, I excel.
well,
Okay.
it's
Okay.
okay. Oh, okay.
Okay.
And I can't
Okay.
even do it. I said
Ooh.
okr.
Oh,
It,
okay.
it was it
Yes,
was
you were choking on
dry.
that. Dang. Ooh.
It's cause my throat,
It's
child,
okay.
my
It's
throat
okay.
has been disrespectful. I don't know
Ooh.
if it's where
Throw
I'm
the whole thing
at.
away.
I know
Throw it away.
it's getting on my nerves, but
Mm.
I will say
Mm.
that overall, what I've learned. I feel like that's like a finishing statement. So what I've learned in this journey.
I would like to conclude this paper by saying
What I've learned in the creative process in my video editing and navigating through the photography, videography, cinematography world, and now
Mhm.
the writing and directing, um, and getting back into YouTube and doing the podcast and figuring out what's my thing and what isn't my thing. Um, I've realized that the bad thing that I've experienced with people actually made me realize the good
Mhm.
that I'm doing,
Mhm.
because all of these experiences they definitely will not go in vain. I
Mm-mm.
feel like they will most definitely project me into like a different mindset each throughout each experience.
Yeah.
So even though they were negative or I may have felt negative, they were somewhat positive in a way because I realized, you know what? The reason why you're not elevating to new levels is because you're around the people doing the same thing.
Mhm.
They're trying to get you to do the same thing. Like, and this is super random, but one of the reasons why I've always said I don't want to date, I don't want relationships, et cetera,
Mm.
because sometimes when I get around a guy, I don't know why my mind does this, and it could be an internal like
I know
it's a
exactly what you're about to say. I do. I
what?
do. You lose track of everything you've been working for.
No, no, actually, no.
Oh.
That's
Oh,
I was
okay.
no. What I was gonna say was, I feel like some guys purposely want to distract me from doing what I need to do.
Oh, yeah, you have told me about that.
Sometimes when I get
Yeah.
around a guy, he's like, "Come spend time with me. Come do stuff with me." Or if I'm like I'm editing, and like stop. Why don't you take a break? I would be like, "Ew."
Ick. Ew.
And I try to be so serious, but I'm like, I've ran into too many guys. Like I've had to cut off several guys here recently. I'm
Mm,
just like, you give me distraction vibes so bad.
yeah,
Like you want to try to take up my time so
yeah,
bad. And you may act like that's not what it is. Like, oh, you're just enjoying whatever. Or you just genuinely, sometimes it's much deeper than that.
yeah.
Because if I have a homeboy that peeps me in and he gives me the how do you say it? Mansplation. How do you say it?
Mansplaining.
Yeah, whatever that terminology is. He explains it and he breaks it down. Some
Yeah,
of y'all
life.
ain't some
Like,
of
you
y'all
don't need that.
because I'm a woman, so emotionally, I'm up there, but logically sometimes I have to come back to the realization of what it really is, especially whether it's friends, foes, um, colleagues, whoever. Overall, it's like some of y'all be wanting to really distract me, or some of y'all like even like the slightest conversation can completely shift the drive that I
Mhm.
have.
Because part of being a creative is the vibe you're feeling at that moment, and
Mm,
like someone disrupts the vibe. Like for example, like working, you can probably relate to this because our job is like a vibe. Like you have to
mhm.
really be in a vibe to get that job done to do it. Otherwise, you are just sitting here looking at a computer screen, just slapping on that keyboard like a Neanderthal. Like what is even happening right now? I literally sat there at a claim, and I know an embarrassing long time. Just
And
like,
I
what
was
am I
doing that
doing,
today.
bro? What am I even doing, man?
You
Like I have processed a claim wrong because I had stopped and did something else and came back and was like, "What the hell was I doing? What is the edit, bro?"
a Neanderthal.
Just like lost, child, lost in it.
My face hurt.
Because, but it is though, because it's a vibe, and like I've had like somebody call me and like start spilling some tea, and I get off the phone and I'm like, what am I doing? And I mean, it really throws you off. And that's like the same
God.
thing as a creative. Like, if you have a vibe where you're like, okay, you know what, I'm gonna get this done today. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna work on this. I'm gonna really hone in. Like, I'm gonna create an atmosphere that is going to feed my drive to get whatever production I need to get done.
Mhm.
Like for me, like when I wanted to do like all my YouTube stuff, I was like, you know what? I need like my phone off. I want to have something on the TV in the background that's like funny to help me get in like a funny, like I had to create a funny like atmosphere to try to make my videos funny. If
Mm.
someone were to like call me and like tell me like some super serious news, do you think I was gonna get back on that computer and work on that edit? No, I'm done. I'm done. What am I gonna do now? I'm gonna put a eulogy on the YouTube video, girl. That is not the move. You
Mm,
can't kill the vibe. That's it,
mm,
vibes are important when it comes to being a creative. Like
it is.
for those who like can understand this, like when you're like cleaning and you're like you got your music playing, you're like cleaning or whatever, and you just without even thinking pick up your phone and then you
Ooh,
like click on the Facebook app or the Instagram
ooh,
app, and you just like do a little quick little scroll, and the next you know you're not even thinking about it. You're just coming to sit down on the couch, and then you scroll
ooh.
in, and then like 2 hours later, you're like, oh shit,
The broom
that
still in your
laundry's
hand.
done. Yeah, child, you got your bonnet on still. You still wearing your robe. It's 2 o'clock in the afternoon now. You done cleaning. Put it up. Put it up. Turn the TV on now. You might as well call it a day. You're done. You're done. It's a VK. It's what me and my friends call a VK, vibe killer. Kill the vibe. VK.
He said, "You're done. You're done."
You're done. Put it up. Turn the TV on. Put the news on. See what's going on.
My God.
Call that
It's
girl. Hey, girl, guess what? Guess what I saw on Instagram? I was on there for 2 hours. Let me tell you. It's a whole
oh my
mess.
God.
It's a
It's
whole
funny
mess.
because it's true. It's
Yeah, it's a vibe. It's
people
a
are the same
vibe
way.
all the
Oh
time.
my God. No.
Oh, look, we'll have a special episode for that girl 'cause she is. I'm done with her now. I was on her side. I'm done with her. She done got that man tattooed on her face again.
I thought that was fake. Oh my God, that's
No, that
real?
is real. I'm done with her. I'm done with her. We're not gonna do this today. You gonna talk about friendships? Me and her friendship is done. I'm not fooling with that girl no more. I'm done with her.
I
I'm
see.
done with her.
It's
But
a
anyways,
conversation. Yeah.
anyways,
That's a mm-mm.
I had something to add on to what you were saying before I went on that tangent.
Mm.
Um, you know, I think a lot of times to preserve our peace, our go-to is to cut people out.
Ooh.
Like they gotta go. I don't want this person around me. Let me tell you something. I
Mm.
learned something. Sometimes those feelings that get conjured up when you think about those people or you see those people can really be good motivation to like kill it. It really can. Because let me tell you something. The only reason why I do what a lot of the stuff that I do, and because I want to get to some place in the world where I'm everywhere. I've said this on the podcast. I want to get to some point in the world where all those people who said something, who were really, really rude to me, who ghosted me, who talked down on me when we were together, who spoke ill of me when we weren't together. I want to get to some point where they can't get on their phone and they will see me. They can't turn the TV
Mm.
on because they'll see me. I want to get to that point to where like everywhere they look is like me, because it's like you know the part that really just burns my buns. Yeah, girl, burns the
What?
buns. Yeah, the part that burns my buns
Oh
is
my
I
God.
is the thing is I told a lot of these people like we don't have to go down this path that what everyone goes down where like it has to end negative. It doesn't have to be like you don't have to talk to me crazy. You don't have to ghost me. You don't have to do whatever that happens when people realize, oh, baby, this ain't gonna work out.
Yeah.
We don't have to do these cliches where it has to be negative. We can just be friends. Or we don't have to even be friends, but it doesn't have to end in this negative way. But because you guys have assumed a lot of responsibility about how I'm gonna feel about things, okay, cute. I'll play that role then. I'll be
Mhm.
vindictive. You're gonna see me everywhere. And you're gonna be miserable. Miserable. Because you wanna know what? We could have been cool. You could have been riding the wave with me. But
Mm.
no, you had to make an enemy out of me. You had to be the bad guy.
Oh, you
Okay. Or
wanna
make
be
me
the
the bad
bad
guy.
guy.
Okay. Oh, not on this
Oh,
podcast.
sorry.
No, ma'am.
Oh,
It's too soon.
sorry. Oh, cold.
She is not in our good graces yet.
Yeah.
She gotta make a better diss track than that last one.
Yeah, we'll talk. We'll definitely touch on
Well, we'll
that.
get into that because
Yeah.
I'm still reeling from that.
Cool. I get what you're saying now.
Yeah, and all I'm saying is like I'm not always so quick to cut off people who maybe are like toxic because I want you to see me. So you best believe I have people on my Facebook, people on my Instagram. I have no intentions on ever speaking to those people ever again. But I didn't block them. I want you to see me, baby, because I know they're gonna be looking. I know they're looking. I see them on my Instagram stories all the time.
Yeah.
And we ain't cool. I already know. I know what you said about me, baby.
Cool. But I
No.
feel like I personally feel like that's normal to like, I don't know. Then again, that might make me sound toxic because I recently kind of experienced something like where I was talking to my homeboy, and long
Mm-mm.
story super short,
Mm.
I was telling him like, I don't know, this dude was giving me like these weird vibes after hanging with him, and he was like, cut him off. We can't have nothing distracting you. He's like, you know what? I want more for you. He's like, I'm ready to see you married now. He's like,
Oh.
I'm ready to see that. Like, well,
Oh.
because he's known me since, so we met at a job, and there's going to be an episode about how we met and stuff and how we got cool.
Mm-hmm.
But him and his wife, who was his girlfriend at the time, um, he would, call me and basically let me vent to him about my problems with like the father of my child, and how I didn't know if I really wanted to still be with him or not, but here I was still being with them. And then
Yeah.
long story super short, as time progressed, he was like, just live your life. Like, just do you live your life. Like, don't try to rush and be in a relationship with nobody. He's like, you need to be with someone who's outspoken like you, who's got like, who can stand 10 toes and like be on it like you. Because all this other stuff ain't it. Like, I told him about a guy recently that I just like told myself I can't, because it seems like you're giving confusion and messy, and I just physically can't. I don't, it's something that's just not right. Something's off.
Mm-hmm.
And when I told him about it, he was like, "Yeah, no, you gotta cut that off." Like at this
Mm.
point, with what with what you're doing with your podcast and your things that you're discovering and things that you're getting ready to shake up, he's like, "I'm gonna be
Mm-hmm.
honest with you now. You probably been finna meet the person that I feel like could be your soulmate. The more you dive into that stuff."
Mm.
He's like, I want you to be married, bro. Like you deserve to have that. Like you deserve to have somebody who's gonna sit there with you while you editing and sit there and not distract you and talk about themselves the whole time and all sorts of stuff. And so in what you were saying, you're talking
Mm-hmm.
about how you're talking about how it doesn't always have to be bad. I just think that some people, depending on how you met them, they may want it to be bad just so that they can have something to talk about.
Oh
And
yeah.
then what you're currently doing will add fuel to the conversation of how,
Yeah.
how you guys should part. Cause I don't know. But I'm also my homeboys, they be telling me if you've seen a man, if you've done anything adult wise with a man, you can't be friends with him. No. He's like, I don't care. He's like, as a man, he's like, I'm telling you, from a man's perspective, as a husband, he was like, you meet a guy that genuinely wants to be with you, rock with you and your daughter, and take y'all in as his family. You
Mm-hmm.
cannot be friends with no man that you have done adult things with. It's just not gonna be cool. It don't matter. Like he's like, the only reason why like me and him are super cool because we've always kept it, strict. We've always been friends from the jump.
Yeah.
And so when his wife is like, oh, I remember her, she never has nothing to worry about because it's been that way since we first met.
Right. There was
So
not even any room for like any silliness.
not even close. So it's like,
Yeah.
I think people, good or bad, I think some people, honestly, like you said, sometimes, some of it can be used for fuel, honestly, to just project into deeper parts of our creativity. And some of them,
Yeah.
honestly, just need to just get kicked to the curb. I mean, I know we shouldn't just solely focus on that, but people that are listening, they're gonna have their own life, and it may not be a super creative, but in their own way, it can be creative. Whether
Yeah.
they have little things that they want to start doing, like I want to start writing in a journal every day. I want to start doing this or that. I want to start painting. I want to start whatever it is that inspires you to pour out your thoughts into the
Mm-hmm.
world in your own way. Sometimes, all in all, what we're basically trying to say is sometimes you're going to realize that there are people who can distract you from getting to that.
Yeah.